Yeah, we lost track of the time, and Brian wants to go live. So instead of saying, fuck it, I forgot and we'll just do it next week, I'm spinning up. And we'll talk about that. All right, let me get the code over to Bri. There we go. All right. So Brian's so anxious to stream, surely he'll be clicking on that link the moment he gets it and be jumping right in right away, faster than you can say Sparky Toaster. But yes, I'm late. In my defense, this is a very comfy chair. You know, you lean back, you rest your eyes a bit. Next thing you know, it's 8:30. So, yeah. I at 8:30, when I was reading my Twitter DMs from Brian going, "Hey, where the hell are you?" I was like, "Oh, poor Bod Pro and Sparky Toaster, it's staring at a blank screen." And then I thought about that a moment longer, and I'm like, "Oh, Sparky's got 9 other tabs to look at. He'll be fine." I don't know what's on Mod Pro's other 9 tabs, but I know what's on Sparky Toaster's other 9 tabs. Now I'm wondering what's on Mod Pro's other 9 tabs. Are they feet related? Okay, stop thinking about it. Mod Pro writes in, "Oh, I have tons of tabs." I'm sure you do. And I'm sure only 2 or 3 of them are feet related. Nope. All right, whatever. Okay, well, man, what do we do while we wait for Brian? Because he's all excited I'm sending a link even though we're like a half hour late. So I guess what we could do is, I went to look for my duct tape file to throw something up while we were waiting, and I lost my duct tape file because I cleaned my desktop, even though it's still a mess. Wait a minute, what's in this folder? Somewhere I have, where do I have the, somewhere I should have that new theme song. Oh, Sparky's going to show us the example of one of his screens. Let's take a look at what an example of one of his screens is. Yes. Dancing. I don't know. Either she's set her screen up in triple or I've been drinking and I'm seeing triple. But either way, I like it. Okay. So tell you what we're going to do. We're going to bring up Udio. And we're going to play the official new theme song of the show while we wait for Brian.
Johnny says, whoa, Mud Bro, Dune, Sparky in the know. never miss the call. Johnny's got the updates, Brian's got it all. Sir Mars with the giggles, watch the numbers crawl. Insert title here. Oh, what a show. Brian Blues is talking. Johnny says, woo! Mod Pro, Doom, Sparky in the know. Don't miss a moment. Every topic's hot. From gaming to gadgets, they cover the lot. Johnny leads discussions, Brian's interrupting spot on.
Spot on.
Laughter never gone. Insert title here. Oh,
We got Mod Pro. We got
Johnny Gate
Sparky.
is talking.
Woohoo.
Brian says no.
Good thing
Johnny
we
Gate
decided
is
to show
talking.
up.
Brian says no.
They've all been
Hey,
waiting,
Sparky.
waiting patiently. But we're here, and yeah. So, the question is, how is the raising of funds for a really expensive turntable cartridge going?
Yes, how is that going?
I got $260 cash today.
Selling a
So-
turntable?
Yes, and that was the thing I thought was going to be the hardest thing to sell. Although,
cool.
well, only because, I mean, vinyl's hot, and it's a working turntable, and it's a Technics direct drive, so there's demand for it. But I have always had bad luck with selling turntables through eBay.
Yeah.
UPS has found multiple ways to break my turntables. So, I think we'll just go ahead and fade that down because we're short on.
And I take it the guy that bought it got it?
Yeah, well, here's what's happened in the past. Now, this is past bad luck. So we're going to put a pin in today and
Boink.
travel back to... for a while, I had a...
Jump in the wave machine.
Yeah. So a while back, when I moved to California, my main turntable was a Mitsubishi linear tracking turntable. And then at some point, I picked up a Luxman turntable from a coworker that came with an Albatross. And so at some point, I'm like, well, maybe I'll sell off the Mitsubishi and get some funds to put towards something else. And so I listed it on eBay, and it sold. And that might have been back before it was like mostly buy it now, so I might have even auctioned it. I forget. All I know is I sold it through eBay. And mind you, I worked at Tharco, so I had access to packing materials and boxes and everything. I packed that sucker up nice. And somehow it got damaged in transit. And so
UPS?
I forget if it was UPS or FedEx or what it was, but it was one of them. But it was one of these situations where the buyer comes back and complains about the damage that cracked the basically the dust cover got cracked, which means that it was still a functionally good turntable. It just had this cosmetic problem now. So eBay gives you the option to offer partial refund as like to make it go away. So I offered him a certain amount of money back. He had a certain amount of time to decide if that was acceptable or if that was not acceptable and to continue the dialogue. And like they give it like 3 days or 5 days, something like that. And I remember it was like on the last day that he accepted it. So I was like sitting there sweating day after day. Could I make this fucking problem go away and still keep some funds? I mean, I'm already taking a hit here for this stupid bullshit. And he took the deal. But again, it cut into my profit. Well, I don't know if it was even profits. It cut into my funds that I got for that turntable. Then there was another turntable that I sold. It was a Marantz turntable. Actually, it was a turntable I bought off of Martine that he found at one of the swap meets. I'm like, oh, that looks nice. I'll buy that from you. And I bought it. I played around with it. And I'm like, I got too many turntables. Let me just turn this into some cash for something. And that one didn't get damaged. But the problem with that one is that eBay fucked up the shipping options. Because I set it up and I set like the default options and I fill everything in. And for some reason, eBay included among the shipping options that a buyer could select media mail. And a turntable is not media. So a turntable doesn't count for media mail. And now, Brian, you're familiar with how media mail works?
Yeah, why would that go media mail? I mean, it's not a box. I mean, it's not books.
Well, no, media mail is books, tapes, records.
Yeah, but you're selling a turntable, right? Am I
Right.
following you right?
Right. So that's why it was a problem, because eBay put that in the shipping options for the buyer, and the buyer selected it because it was clearly the cheapest, because media mail is way cheap for everything else. And of course, the post office will inspect media mail packages. So he got hit up by the post service to pay the difference in the shipping. And so then he complained to me and said, hey, what's the deal with this shipping? It was listed with this shipping rate, but now UPS. I'm like, look, I'm sorry. eBay should not have listed that option for media mail. I don't know how that happened. And honestly, you shouldn't have selected it. But I left that part out of the polite email. I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't know why eBay put that option in there. I did not expect that to be set up in there. I saw that could be a problem once the payment came through, but since that's what the option you selected, I figured I would try to ship it that way and see if it happened to go through or not.
Oh, well, you knew better. Why did you do that? You should have immediately,
Well,
you should have immediately told them, no, this can't go media mail.
Well,
it's not an option that's available.
Well, here's the thing. Here, option A is I tell him immediately, you have to pay me more money. Option B, I send it the way that he asked me to send it, and maybe the post office misses it, and everyone's a winner. And if the post office catches it, then they hit him up for the difference. Either way, he's got to pay more.
Well, exactly. And then,
but at least we could try to get away with something.
I would go, whoa, man, this can't go media mail. You're going to have to pay me more. Period. And if he backs out of the deal, fuck him.
Well, it's testing the system. He might get it. I decided to let him go for it.
That's dishonest.
I wasn't the one that
chose
knew
better. You knew better.
He knew. He selected the option.
You told him the option is wrong.
Well, he selected the option.
You got to have the balls out on the line, man.
Well, luckily this dude wasn't an asshole in California like you. So he said, "Oh, okay, thank you." It's like, dude.
Oh, okay. So you didn't get get further pushback. I mean,
right. Once I told him, "Hey, look, eBay shouldn't have put that option there, and it wasn't valid. I'm sorry you selected it. I gave it a try to see if we can get away with it. Unfortunately, the post office wasn't going for it. You're gonna have to pay the difference for the shipping because that's a shipping cost. Sorry, them's the breaks." And he said, "Oh, okay, thank you." Sparky writes in, Brian sounds like Johnny's granddad.
That's right, I am. Did you just figure that one out, Sparky?
We're not related.
Just kidding.
So that was turntable number 2, which was not that bad. It was just a minor annoyance. Turntable number 3 was the second NAD turntable that I sold last year, which the dude bought it like the week before my California trip. And that one, I had the original box, the original packaging, the original everything. So I took it apart. I put everything back in its original baggies. I had the original twist ties. I boxed this thing up almost exactly the way it came new in the box, which the box was designed for it to be shipped on pallets and packed and trucked around. So I thought, surely this one's going to go without a hitch because I got all the original packaging and everything. But I forgot to remove the counterweight off the end of the tone arm.
Oh, fuck.
And the peg that holds the counterweight was made with cheap plastic. And so it snapped that right off in transit. And the guy, so I'm in California at the BART station and waiting for a bus when this eBay message comes through. The turntable got damaged in shipping. I'm like, oh, fuckers. And the dude was able to glue it back on. And in fact, I reviewed the original email on this because the guy basically said, I was a little concerned at how cheap the plastic was on this tone arm. But after I glued it back on and the glue dried and I set it up, I put on a Nora Jones LP and it sounds way better than on my old Technics SL1700 turntable. I'm quite happy with it, except that he wasn't happy that it sustained damage, and he felt that I needed to pay for that. This was after. So basically, I made him an offer of a certain amount of funds back in exchange.
$2 for the glue?
Well, I mean, a glued tone arm is still not a brand new tone arm. So it was probably something more like $50 to $100. And I forget the exact amount I offered him back. Of course, Sparky pointing out that what I really need to do is play...
Dumbass, you're a dumbass. You're grade A, #1, bona fide, first class. You're a dumbass.
So this weekend, I start gathering the things that I'm looking to sell to raise funds for the new thing. And I've posted to all the quad collecting groups about my rare Japanese model Victor CD 410 demodulator, thinking that someone will offer me $500 for it. No bites on that. It's a rare, valuable demodulator that is easily worth at least $500, but there's not a whole lot of people looking to pay that $500. But I don't know. Maybe it's not worth $500 anymore. That's a tough sell. That's a very niche thing, but I'm pretty sure I can get it. I just don't know where else to look. Maybe not all the quad fans are on the quad groups. Maybe I need to go. Sparky writes in, Giant needs to let the wife do his packaging of the boxes. Like I said, this was all original packaging. It was just a dumbass move that I forgot to take the counterweight off. If I did that, everything would have been fine. And I still made out okay on that turntable. I'm sorry to say, just wait, someone will bite on it. So I have the Ortofon cartridge that I paid to have realigned that has 600 hours of good use on it. So that should be a good cartridge for someone that just wants a decent stereo moving coil cart. I got the head amp that pairs with it. I've listed them on eBay with buy it nows and that accept offers. So we'll see if I get some offers on those. I'll let those sit for a few months.
Are those listed separately or together?
I listed them separately because someone might already have their own head amp and want the cart. But I mentioned in the description, I'm also selling a head amp that pairs well with this, or I'm also selling a cartridge that pairs with this. So people could, if someone wants to throw in best offers for both of them and try to send me a message and try to work out a package deal. And he also said
that the cart does require a head amp, correct?
I included a screenshot of the instruction manual in the pictures. And yes, I did specify that it is a low-level moving coil cartridge that would require a preamplifier. And speaking of preamplifiers, we have Mars in the house.
Yo, Mars.
And while Mars turns on his microphone, yes. So my eBay handle is Army of Quad. I signed up for eBay when I was still using Army of Quad as my default.
In fact, I was looking at Army of Quad on Twitter, I think it was, and you hadn't used that account in a really long time.
Well, I think
I think this was a week or two ago.
Yeah, and I think I registered that account when I started the Quadcast YouTube channel, but I haven't done a whole lot with that. So I haven't.
That's a YouTube channel, right?
Right.
In fact, I think I looked it up there.
Yeah. My thought was
you posted Diddly Squat in quite a long time, number of years.
Well, I did a few weeks ago post a YouTube video about the different cartridges and the comparing, and I needed to post a follow up with.
Must have been after I looked at it then.
Yeah. But back in the AOL Instant Messenger days, I signed up for my first AOL Instant Messenger account with the username KTEL2 because someone had already taken KTEL. And that was an Instant Messenger name I used for a while.
And because number 2 tries harder, right?
I guess so, yeah. And then Gothard signed up as Army of Moog, or Army of Moog, because he was getting into the Moog stuff at that point. and me being
Oh, is he a synthesizer guy?
Well, he's like me, into the techie and the recording and the he never. I don't think he plays keyboards all that much. I mean, we both took piano proficiency classes, but I'm probably a better keyboardist than he is. But
does he have a synthesizer or a Moog synthesizer?
He recently bought a theremin, but other than that, no.
Oh, a theremin. That's not exactly a keyboard.
No, but it is a synthesizer.
Unless it's a
it is a synthesizer.
Well, yeah. It's a 2-key synthesizer.
It's
if you count.
It's a pole and a volume control loop.
Right.
Yeah. But no, he was into the sounds of it or listening to. I don't know. He signed up for Army of Moog. I think it was a play on a song name, Army of Me. But I didn't even know that. I didn't even care. I'm just like, well, if you're going to be the Army of Moog, I'm going to be the Army of Quad. And so I registered the AOL Instant Messenger name Army of Quad. And that was my AOL Instant Messenger name when I started writing into NHB shows. Mars, you're muted. I see a little muty sign.
Mars.
Oh, maybe I can unmute him. Can't unmute your guest. The mic isn't connected. Okay, so that's what's going on.
Mars.
But it's okay because he's here in spirit. We know that his computer has a connection.
Is he really there? He's not in the comment area. There he is. There he is. Stupid Mike. I knew it wasn't you.
So, anyways, I listed those things, and then that brings us to the turntable I'm selling, which happens to be a Technics SL1700.
The good one.
Yeah. And so I'm like, hello.
Hey, it's a mic.
No,
working.
don't look. Damn it! Don't look. There.
And his original name was Army of Mike.
Army of Mike. So, anyways, I get to the SL1700, and I'm figuring out: do I have a box that will fit this? Do I have packaging material that will work? I'll make sure to take the counterweight off and the head shell off. And I'll take the platter out. I'll do it separately, but I don't have bubble wrap, so I'm gonna have to order bubble wrap. I have a box that's kind of big enough, but not really as big as it should be. But then one of the dimensions of that box is 25 inches, and once you go over 24 inches, we see Mars's desk, because that's a 24-inch desk right there. And and now he's muted again.
Can you hear me now?
We hear you now. Yes.
What the hell is wrong with my stupid ass? I blame Firefox.
I blame them too.
No, I like Firefox. What it was is when you log in, you have to agree to share your camera and mic, and I apparently did not agree to that.
I thought we were all supposed to use Chrome.
Well,
No,
I use Brave, which is Chromium based.
Yeah. I use
Firefox will work, but Firefox doesn't give you as much sound controls, which is fine for people just using the headset.
Well, see, and that's the funny part. I don't remember. For the show, I switched to Chrome. Maybe because Firefox wasn't working properly.
Well, back when we were doing Hangouts,
so long ago.
Hangouts stopped working in Firefox. When we were still doing that.
Well, Hangouts started working all together. That was the problem. Now, is my audio really, really loud? Do I need to mess with it?
You're fine. You're perfect. It's great.
Okay,
we
cool.
love it.
Cool.
And Johnny can tweak it anyway.
Well, it depends. When I'm overblowing, you can only tweak it so much.
Right. And I can't tweak both of you independent.
Well,
anyway,
you have to have two hands for that, Gators.
And I switched to Brave because of YouTube commercials. Thank you, Sparky.
Oh, I don't use that. I use uBlock Origin. I haven't seen a YouTube commercial since.
I was using AdBlock, and then YouTube was bitching at me that it violates their terms of services, and they're not going to let me watch anything.
I've never had a problem with YouTube. But
then I installed Brave, and I have. I got to tell you, I like Brave. I really like Brave.
Yeah, Brave is actually pretty good. I don't use it, but a lot of people do like Brave. So
I should have switched long ago. It's great.
Well,
and they're not evil.
So I have a question for you.
Okay. Go ahead.
You said you sold your okay. What did I interrupt? You were selling your turntable, right?
Right.
Did you sell it?
So that's what I'm getting to this part of the story.
Okay.
So looking for boxes and packaging, I'm like, oh God, how am I? And then I thought, it would be so much easier is if I could sell it just locally, have someone show up here. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to try to list it on Facebook Marketplace, see what happens. If I can make this turntable go away, then I don't have to worry about the shipping fees, so people will be willing to pay more. And I get someone local. I don't have to worry about boxing it. So I listed it on Facebook Marketplace. I listed it on Facebook Marketplace on Saturday. Sunday, during the Dune and Johnny show, I got a bite asking about it.
Nice.
And it was, hey, is it still available? Which I think is a great opening line. And then when I didn't respond right away, he probably thought he angered me. And he was like, hey, I'm going to be I could be in your area tomorrow, preferably before noon. Could you do? Is there any problems with it, or will you do 250? Because I listed it for 300, expecting an offer of 250, which is what I would let it go for.
Yeah.
Which someone else was selling the same model in my area, also listing it for 300.
I said, well, if you're picking it up,
Yeah.
I'll move it down to 250.
Yeah. So I wrote back and said, I could do 250. There's no problems with it. Do you need a cartridge on it, or will you be adding your own? And he goes, oh, thanks. I appreciate you asking. I'm going to be using my own, which is too bad because I've got like a spare $100 cartridge in the drawer here that came with the turntable that I could have tried to get an extra $50 for. And I'd be like,
He's also probably gonna say what cartridge are you using?
it's an Ortofon 2M Red, which is your basic go-to.
Hey,
for
it's
a
still an
modern
Ortofon,
turntable.
right?
Yeah,
It's better than the one that came with it, probably.
Well, I mean, I don't know what they came with back in the 70s.
Is it better than the one you're gonna sell for $50?
I don't know. Anyways, so then he messages me. So I go, hey, great. He goes, well, where should we meet? What do you want to do? And I'm like, because he's basically coming to Attleboro from another town, and he's like, wherever you want to meet, whatever time, just before noon, I prefer. I'm like, hey, 9 o'clock works for me. Are you comfortable coming to my house, or do you want to meet in some kind of other location? He's like, I'll come to your house, whatever, just let me know. So I give him my address, tell him 9 o'clock, and and he's offering to bring cash. I'm like, great, bring cash. And so then I get a message from him in the morning. I'm on my way. I might be a little late. I ran into an ATM limitation. I got to look for another ATM, which I thought was odd because I figure a person that deals with cash normally would be on top of their ATM game, and usually $300 out of an ATM isn't an issue. So I'm like, is this where some funky app-based thing is going to start to come in? Is this where the scam starts? Because there's so many scams out there.
Yeah.
So, but it was totally innocent. He pulled up. He came in. He said the ATM didn't have 10, so I'm just gonna have to pay you $260. And he's like, "There's no problems with it, right?" I'm like, "No, everything's perfect. I've been
No, that's
using it up
$10
until
more. Go for it.
Yeah." Sparky rates, and I think 500 a day is limit. The thing is, different ATMs could have different limits. The other thing is I know that sometimes if an ATM is going to run low on cash, it's probably going to happen on a Monday after a weekend, especially if it's in a tourist area. So maybe he happened to hit an ATM that was out of cash. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen.
During conventions, it happens, but otherwise, I've never had an ATM. And most ATMs will take 300 out.
Right.
That's standard procedure.
So,
Even they'll let me take 300 out as a poor college student back in the day, and let me take 3 out.
So I don't know if he was looking for an ATM that had 10s, and he just gave up and said, "Fuck it, I'll pay the extra 10."
Do they
I
have
don't
10s?
know.
I thought I've only gotten 20s out of them.
Some will have 10s.
Well, see, actually, mine gives you actually a limit of 500. It'll give you hundreds, 20. In fact, the default is hundreds. Hundreds to me are a pain in the ass to count.
I hate hundreds.
You know what? It used to
20s and 10s. So I get a bunch of 10s because some people frown at 20s. Hey, what is in $20 nowadays?
Wait, who finds it a 20?
I mean, the simplest the simplest ATM method is you just fill the drawers up with 20s. That's adequate. That gets the job done. I mean, anytime I worked at a bank and I had to deal with it, because when you work at a bank, the ATM is a daily reconciling process where you put the machine into standby mode. You take out the drawer, you count all the cash that's in it, which the blocks of 20s are marked by marker, so you only have to count the last block in alternating sides, so that way you can pull out the last block, do a count of that, and then count the blocks. So you get a count of what's in the machine, take any deposit envelopes out, do a printout of the machine, add cash if you need it, and then put it back into service. Is the basic idea. There's a little more to it.
Sparky says his just gives out 20s now.
That's the norm. But I will say that the ATMs near me have started giving out 100s, and it's caught me by surprise and pisses me off. Because when I'm going to the flea market, I don't want to ask some dude at the table with some records, hey, it's $50 worth of records. Can you break 100? Although a lot of times they have a bunch of. Last time I went to the flea market, I had to go to walk around to the front gate to find the parking attendant that could break my 100. And even then, he was kind of
some places just don't take hundreds because they don't want to hand out all their change.
They don't want to deal with it. It's too much. A 20
because they take a 20 and they slick it in that slot that nobody can get into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but there have been times where I go to the ATM and I withdraw 300 and $300 bills come out. It's like, this is not what I wanted. I wanted, and it didn't even ask me. Sometimes the ATM will ask you, how do you want it? And then sometimes it catches me by surprise. It doesn't ask me and just spits out the hundreds. It's like, what the fuck am I going to do with this?
Yeah, my ATM, we used to only do 20s, period. There was no option.
Well,
the thing is, also, what it used to do is, how much money do you want? I want $200, and he also expects 2 zeros for the cents. You're not giving out any pennies.
So
but they got rid of that. Finally, you got rid of the cents part that nobody gives a shit about.
The ones I'm used to, on each side when you first of all you log in, you give them your card, whatever, and then on the sides it'll say, do you want 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, and then there's a button for different amount. You push that and you have to put in your number. So you can tell it. You just push one button and go. That's fine. So it knows it's going to give you increments of 20. But
So, anyways,
I think mine comes up with a default of quick cash, right? And it'll be 200.
Yeah,
and
quick
it'll be
cash,
$200
exactly.
bills.
Sparky.
right.
It could be 3.
So the thing I thought was going to be the hardest to sell ended up being the easiest to sell. It just took me a day, and a guy showed up with cash and took it.
Nice.
And he kind of did a little there's no problems with it, right? I'm gonna trust you. And it's like, so I could tell that it's tough on both sides.
Yeah.
So and I said, hey, look, you run any problems or questions, you let me know. Hopefully, I never hear from
So
the guy again.
when I was in Houston, I had a Dodge van and a small camper trailer.
Okay.
And I decided I want to get rid of the van, but what do I sell first? Oh, I better sell the camper first, because if the van is gone, then I won't be able to deliver it.
Right. There is that.
But as it turned out, so I listed the camper first. That went pretty quick, and the guy came and picked it up. See, so I didn't even need the damn van.
But you were prepared.
Yeah, I was. Yeah. It ran like clockwork. I did have one guy that I kind of had to refuse. The camper was only going for $1,000. This guy came up and he acted like he was homeless. He was going to live in it. No, you can't. Okay, this was in a storage. This was in a storage yard, and you can't live here.
No.
Do you want me to move it someplace? Oh, and you don't even have the money.
Well, that could be a problem.
Yeah, it was a problem. So I
want to buy it, but I don't have money. Do you take blood?
I think he wanted him to make payments.
Oh, that was not going to work.
Oh yeah, that's setting up a payment plan with someone that doesn't have money. That's a surefire plan to
Well,
success.
I don't know. Do I have to do a credit check to see if he's got a?
No, you don't. You
Yeah.
already know all you need to know.
That's right. That's why I just said no. I really can't help you here.
That's the eBay name, Army of Quad. I'm not sure why you can't find it. I think at some point they switched to email addresses, but my username is still tied to it. So Army of Quad should still work.
On eBay.
I don't know how you search for sellers, but that is absolutely my seller name. Well, here, tell you what I'll do. I'll post a link because I think I found it.
No, I'm gonna find it.
Well, there's the link right there. That should do it. And as you can see, I'm selling 2 items. An Ortofon MCA76 preamplifier for vintage Ortofon MC cartridges, an Ortofon SL20Q cartridge, recently aligned, estimated
Wait, you're selling the
600
pre? Is that the one you just got?
hours of use left. I've had it for a little while,
Oh, okay.
but
Oh,
it's the cartridge I just
that's
had.
easy. On the app, you just start doing a search, and it immediately says search for a user.
Ah,
Oh, I don't use the app. I use
Ortofon.
the
There you
interwebs.
go, buddy. Oh, you're one of my saved sellers.
oh,
What you buying from Gators?
Oh, sometimes I just follow guys because they're
Oh, I've never used eBay to follow people. I just said that's nice. I'll buy some. It's on eBay. I guess I'll click the button and go. Oh, you want an OBO? I don't.
I remember
I'll
back
just
in the
pay it.
day in college, some people would have a system where if there was a auction they were watching, they'd print out the page of the auction and tape it to their wall so they could remember to keep track of when
What
the auction's ending.
emails you?
This is back in the early. I remember when I signed up for eBay, the registration form had 2 oddball questions at the end of it. I don't.
Remember that?
And one of them was, where was your last Elvis sighting?
Yeah.
And I answered at the local Wawa. And I
Did
don't
they
know,
say, "Oh, wrong place. You can't join up"?
that they still let me join. I forget what the other oddball question was, but there were these 2 oddball questions that were on the form originally.
You know, I said the eBay bathroom, and they let me in. So, yeah.
And then I remember the guy across the hall signed up for eBay, and he bought like a 6-pack of Coca-Cola that was in Miami Dolphins themed bottles as a collector's item.
Did you drink them all?
No, I thought it was kind of silly, but then again, I buy silly things too.
I don't know. I would have drank them. I was like, "Cool, Coke, drink it."
But yeah, he kept them on his shelf, and
Oh. Well, get a soda if you don't drink it, though.
I got a bug crawling on my TV. I need to electrocute it.
Another thing that's fun is you have spiders. Well, you either get a cat, or you get salt guns. Salt guns are fun.
I need to get it to fly.
Are you the kind of guy that would pull the wings off of flies?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, that's
Just checking.
cruel. That's cruel and unusual.
The problem is it's on the TV screen, so I can't swat it easily, and I want to get it with the electric swatter because it's a stink bug, so I want to do it quick before it can release stink.
Oh, that's right. You're
Oh,
in the part of the
and
country
have
that
all
has
its friends
stink
come by
bugs.
and visit. Yeah.
So it's just crawling on my screen, taunting me
Well, you have a vacuum cleaner?
in the basement.
You should get one of those little vacuum cleaners. You suck it up.
This thing needs to. Maybe if I move around the mouse pointer, that will screw with its vision and make it. Nope, that's not working.
It's like, that's nice. I don't care.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. It's
You
it's
just blow at it. You don't have to.
it's-
You don't have to like.
Oh, there. No, now it went to the right side of the screen. Come on. Get up in the air so I can swat at you with my electric swatter. No, I don't pull the wings off. Electric is fast and quick and painless, right? Like the
Oh
electric
no, no,
chair.
I wasn't. Thinking you were Johnny. I was thinking Mars would do that.
Ah, of course he would.
Why would I pull the wings off of flies? That's mean.
Mars wouldn't harm a fly.
Okay, so I used to burn ants with a magnifying glass. We don't talk about that.
Well, that's for science.
Well, that's what you were a kid back then, right?
Yeah, I was. I used to do it at camp, and I used to do it in elementary school. We just had a poll going. Will make gators get a stink bug? Yes or no?
All right, I think that did it.
Oh, see, Sparky has a better idea. He catches his bugs, puts them in his wood stove, and burns them.
I don't know if that's a good idea with a stink bug. That might release some toxic fumes from the.
I don't know. I don't have to deal with stink bugs, thank goodness. But
So Brian, you missed the Dune and Johnny show yesterday, and I almost missed this show today. But I shared some photos from my high school years yesterday.
Oh, cool.
Now, Brian, how many photos did you bring from your high school days?
they have
No.
black and white then.
None. All right. Well, you have to have those for next week.
Yeah.
No, I don't even know if I have any.
Did you buy a yearbook?
You know, I was looking for my yearbook and I can't find it. I think it got. It's probably in some freaking box someplace.
Classicmates.com has a wide collection.
Oh, except for my year, they don't have my stuff there. So, because I go in there, I've had their Yahoo. I've had a Yahoo account with them for like, oh God, since 94 or 95 or something. And they still don't have my freaking school year. I'm like, okay, fine. They're like, but if you'd like to put pictures up there, I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. But, nice.
I'm pretty sure mine is on Classmates. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, there we go. Immaculata High School. Oh wait, I'm pretty sure I have an account with this. I don't have a saved username, but I do have a saved password in my browser.
That makes sense.
Although it didn't like that, so maybe it's registered to my Yahoo email address. All right, let's try that save.
Yeah, that's when I originally got it when I signed up for Yahoo back in the day. That's how I got
Oh yeah, that worked. That
Yeah.
absolutely
Yeah,
worked.
there you go. Look at that. You got your classmates.com.
Yeah, there we go. Basic member, Immaculata High
And now you can
School,
find out where all your
97.
friends live.
And sure. Maybe I could look up some. No, probably not. So somewhere here it'll show me my yearbook. I haven't logged on the site in years. Oh, here we go. The 1997, 96, 94. Oh, 95 is missing. So my sophomore year is missing. That's okay. Senior year's the biggest year.
Mine isn't
probably.
on there at all. They don't have any of my years there, so it's fine.
I love that the person that scanned in their yearbook, it was an actual student's yearbook because it's got autographs.
Oh, nice.
At the front of it.
Look to see if your autograph is on there somewhere.
I don't
See how
think
many
I
girls you
signed.
signed.
I don't think I signed this yearbook.
Oh.
Let's see. Pat Foley signed this to Steph. Okay.
Aw,
I knew
go
Pat
Steph.
Foley. So I think Pat Foley signed my yearbook too.
Wow, look at that. Look at that.
So there you go. Oh, people put their phone numbers in here too.
Oh, that's Let's see if you see it in there. Did you know her? Did you know Steph?
I maybe, I don't know. Actually, I think we did this already on the show once. I remember.
Oh, did we?
I remember showing the class picture where we did the whole spelling out 97 and with our navy blue and white polo shirts and zooming into where
we
I
did
am
that,
in
but
this
we
picture.
didn't look at the whole yearbook.
I
See all
think
your friends.
I think I pulled up because I pulled up the pictures of me with my French horn for the band pictures, and I think I pulled up the picture of me as a library aide.
Oh.
So because that was something I did.
Did the library have records?
Yeah, and
And that's where you got into quad.
no, actually, I didn't find out about quad. I didn't have a chance to get into quad until college when I got on eBay and started buying quad stuff.
But where did
Anyway.
you first hear about quad?
What's that?
Where did you first hear about quad?
Well, my friend Genocide Rob had gotten into some stereo equipment that someone gave him. I don't even know how he got this stuff, but someone left him or gave him this old 70s console stereo and boxes of stereo 8-track tapes. And he thought he was going to get rich selling this stuff to me. And I was the only person he knew that'd be interested. And he's reading out all the titles.
He's getting
of the-
rich? Does he know who he's selling it to?
Yeah, well, then he's going through the tapes. He's like, we got Simon and Garfunkel, we got Captain Tennille, and I'm just like, no, not really.
I
no.
got some vanilla fudge.
Now, if he had Vanilla Fudge, he would have had me, but he didn't have anything cool like that. He had, the kind of your basic, standard, middle of the road, easy listen, which I was
Some
just
of the
like,
Doobie Brothers and some Lionel Richie.
And so I go over. I didn't need another stereo, but it wasn't a bad stereo, and I'm like, I could do things with this. It's got an 8-track player in it, and Dune's going WTF. I don't know what the fucking. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
This
I
chair.
didn't know I was.
This chair is comfy, and next thing I do, I woke up and it was 8:30. I often.
I took a nap. I was gonna take a nap. I'm like, oh, there's no show. And then I go to the bathroom. I come back. I'm like, oh, what's that one? doing
I
there?
come back and I'm like, alerts on my phone. Oh shit.
Wait, did somebody send him messages?
Brian was messaging me like
Brian!
the
Brian!
shoe. We got to do the shoe.
Brian, if you didn't send him messages, you could have napped.
He wanted to do the show.
Dang.
But I was all set for the show.
His,
I mean, I had to come back from the Hello Chicago last week.
his wife doesn't let him interrupt as much as I.
That's right.
It's like I could hang
She
out
gets
with my.
mad. She thinks
gets-
I'm angry.
Oh no!
Never angry.
I've only ever seen you angry once, and when that happened, you were throwing water at me from a water bottle.
Oh, good.
Giving you some holy water.
Oh.
Now, Nick, on the other hand, he got angry a lot.
Yeah, right.
Why? Didn't he have Hummels? Why is he supposed to be angry?
I don't know, because he didn't understand ball busting.
You know what? Just keep a Hummel in your pocket, and when he's angry, it's just hand him one here. Have a
Oh,
Hummel.
no. Even better. Since they're in cubicles and you don't have direct sight, you kind of slide the hanger up so that the Hummel sticks over the top. So the Hummel is looking at him. You kind of jiggle it.
There you go.
You know,
There
you'd
you
sit there and grab it. You'd be like, mine.
You got to be ready to pull it away quickly.
Here's the thing. He never once talked about the Hummels in all my time working there. The only reason I knew about them was because Kristen noticed them when we were over at his house. It's like, did you see the Hummels? I'm like, the what?
Yeah, he's got that odd collection. Not a big collection, just a handful of them.
Just enough. But, no, so where was I? Anyways, so we told this whole story.
You know, he's actually having those. He's in touch with his German side. Well, he's all German, so
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Get in touch with one of his German sides or the other one or all
Right.
of them.
Right.
Yeah. Because he's part German and part German.
that's right.
He's all kraut.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Anyways, actually, when he visited, he's on a number of trips to Germany to see the relatives that still live there.
Oh, that's neat.
like
And
distant
there's a
relatives.
suggestion that these were hardcore Nazis.
Now, who's suggested this? Has Nick suggested or acknowledged this? Or is this
Nick
just a joke?
suggested that there might be hardcore
They might
Nazis.
be. They might be hardcore Nazis.
You know, of course, now completely under the table because Nazis are now illegal there.
Well, I mean, a lot of people in the country are gonna have relatives or connections to that past, but I don't think that means that most of them agree with that, or you know.
I had a professor that was. Her family was from Germany, and but she grew up in the United States, as did her relatives during the war. But there was correspondence between the American part of the family and the German part of the family, and the American side were kind of going, why do they seem to be all enamored with this dude Adolf?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Are you not seeing what's wrong with this guy?
Have you listened to the stuff he's saying?
I would step back a couple feet and say, okay.
Well, the thing
not-
is that Adolf Hitler was promoting all this prosperity and stuff.
He was
He
very
didn't
charismatic.
exactly tell you how he was going. Well, he did tell you how to do it, but people weren't listening.
Well, he got you there in phases. In phase 3 was profit. For some.
Right. He promised everybody, you kick some money into the VW Beetle, and you get one, right?
Yeah.
Eventually. And so people put money into it to get one, and they never came.
No
Kind
market
of sucks to be
leader
used,
down.
man, because the dude really just wanted to build an army so he could go back to war.
Anyways, so yeah, he has but usually they have he talked about how they would have some kind of a party, and there was some kind of a basically someone paid for the whole thing, this family gathering, and there was some kind of a bell that you hit with a bow and arrow, and it was like a contest, and the person who wins the contest gets to pay for the whole thing next year.
Wait. You if you win, you have to pay for everything.
Yeah.
Guess
which
what?
makes-
Guess what, Gators? I'm never paying.
Or you're always losing.
Yeah, exactly. I'm always losing and never paying.
And that's the thing. So I wonder how hard people try to win this thing. And apparently there's lots of beer involved, so there's a lot of bad aiming. It's just by chance one of the arrows ends up hitting the bell, and that dude gets to pay for it next year. I think I'm recalling that story right.
Oh,
But
I mean,
but he
if I
was a
hit the-
guest, so he didn't have to participate in that part of it. He just got all the free beer he could drink and say thanks, dude, and leave town.
oh,
So-
did you hit the bell?
no, I don't think he even tried to.
Oh,
Because
I
he wasn't.
try.
Dune writes
Oh.
in, please tell me this person is retired. I would hate to think he's still out in society. What, Nick? Nick's a good guy. I don't know what you're complaining about.
He likes cats. I know that.
He likes
Oh,
cats.
yeah.
He's a dog. I don't know
definitely
if he's
get-
a dog person.
Cats and orchids.
Well, he got into cats because his house came with a cat.
Whoa!
Really? I never heard that story.
I thought that's what it was. Because the what was the first cat he had with Shadow? Was that Fletcher or? Because I thought the story.
I think so. Yeah. That
I'm
sounds
pretty
about right.
sure the story was when he bought the house in Alameda, the cat was left behind there as part of the I said, well, the cat likes that. Would you mind taking the cat with the house? I thought that was this. I could be remembering this wrong. And I guess he had got another cat, or maybe it came with two cats and one died. He bought another cat. I don't know. But my understanding was that the getting into cats thing started with the house coming with a cat.
It could
That's-
be. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's cool. My niece's house came with a cat. His name was Crazy Eyes because that cat's eyes are very offset. They're cross-eyed all the time. So
If I was looking at a house and part of the condition was that you take the free cat that comes with it. Oh, and by the way, the cat's name is Crazy Eyes.
yeah.
I'm going to keep looking at other houses.
Yeah, well, it came with a cat and chickens.
and chickens.
Yeah. So
I see. So the cat had the chickens to bother. And
no,
and
the
leave me
chickens
alone.
the chickens and the cats are pretty cool with each other.
Oh wow! I would
Yeah.
think I would think that the cat be cool with the chickens. The chicken's not so cool with the cat
No,
because the
they're
cat's
they're
like,
fine. They're fine.
which one of you are extra crispy? You know?
Yeah. No, Crazy Eyes is cool. He just comes up here and meows at you and kind of looks at you with its eyes all crossed, and we're like, okay. And then it tries to jump up on something and misses, and then does it 2 or 3 times and finally makes it. You know.
Gives you that look like, yeah, I meant to do that.
Yeah.
That cat could be a star in some cat video.
Well, the cat's name is Crazy Eyes, so.
So, anyways, so Brian, you gotta dig up some high school photos, and Mars, you gotta dig up some high school photos
Oh
too.
God. I don't really know anybody in my
I
high
would have
school.
to dig out my yearbook.
But anyways, the photos that I found digging through some things and scanned in are from band camp senior year, and I'm not gonna
Oh,
tell.
this is what you're posting on Twitter.
Yeah, because
Oh yeah. I was
so we
thinking,
all
why
we
is
typically
he going fucking nuts on us?
who?
You.
What do you mean?
Anderson's a nuts.
I just
No, I
posted a
just said it
picture.
that way. That's all. Don't have to get all personal.
So what happened is that usually on band camp, the freshmen would get assigned to a bunk or a cabin because they were coming in. They weren't around the year before or the summer before to sign up. But the sophomores, juniors, and seniors, we would sign up for what cabins or what rooms we would be in at band camp so that friends could bunk together. But I never.
Well, let's excuse me. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm interrupting now.
Yes, you are.
Back to Dune and his. I hate to think this is us out in society. Well, he did just post on Facebook that he's in Wisconsin buying cheese. Now that's totally normal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how far is Minnesota from Wisconsin?
I don't know.
I mean, if you're going to go out of state to buy cheese, Wisconsin would be the state to go to.
Sure.
So,
And it didn't say where in Wisconsin. You know,
Hmm.
Madison, Duluth. Oh, that's Minnesota, right? Yeah.
yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, I can't name
Wisconsin is just in the way there.
Wisconsin. Let's see. There's lots of Wausau, Green Bay, Antigo, Oshkosh, Milwaukee, Kenosha, Janesville. Yeah, there's lots of places in Wisconsin you could buy cheese. And he might be in one of them. But yeah, Minneapolis is, which he's in the Minneapolis area, Minnesota. It's not that far from Wisconsin. So he absolutely could make it kind of a monthly ritual to take a trek over to Wisconsin to buy a, supply of cheese. So makes sense to me.
Boston, right? That's not that far.
So the town, oh, shoot.
What?
So the town of Eau Claire
Eau Claire. Yeah.
is an hour away.
Yeah, there you go. You can go to Eau Claire and
Hour and a half. Sorry.
buy
yeah.
some cheese.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I do. Sorry, I'm underneath my desk right now, guys.
Not quite sure if that's.
So, anyways, you interrupted me, and I was talking about
Sorry.
how
Yes.
So basically, the summer, like the end of the school year, we would get music for the next year's marching band show and start rehearsing, and
Wait, you have
over
to
the
rehearse on summer break?
and well, yeah, during the summer there were rehearsals to get the music because we wanted to have the music in somewhat a good place before band camp, because band camp was basically when we got the charts, and we basically had to learn all the different forms and positions throughout the charts and walk through them and then put music to them. So once you walk through the charts, you want to know the music well enough to then bring your instruments up and start playing along. But that's how it worked. You had it takes a lot of time to learn a whole routine like that. and so it took a week to just kind of get it down to a point where it's performable, kind of. And by the end of the band season, we had it down pat. But the beginning of the band season was a little rough. Wow, it was a summer thing, so you had to go. I mean, it was a week thing in summer before school started. All right, we're going to talk about band camp. We're going to, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring up some video footage. So it's not like we spent the whole summer rehearsing. We had a few rehearsals over the summer break to come in and practice the music as a group. Not a lot. I think there was like 2 or 3 rehearsals we had during summer before band camp started to come in and as a group play the music that we were diligently practicing over the summer break. They asked you to have your music memorized by the time band camp started. I don't think anyone had their music memorized by the time. Enough people did that there was actual playing when we were playing, but a lot of the show when I'm marching at band camp, I was just kind of faking it, or there were some parts I knew, some parts I didn't. Anyways, let me pull up somewhere. I've got one of my band camp videos digitized. I probably need to redo it.
That would be good. That would be good.
I did this on a cheap VCR, so I need to redo it one of these days. And I have a tape from sophomore year. These tapes got worse each year because the fathers that were good at this ended up having kids graduate. So the freshman year band camp tape was quite long. The sophomore year was a little short, mostly the skit night and the dance. And then junior year was only skit night, and then senior year we didn't even get a video. Anyways, let's see. VHS captures. Here we go. Band camp 1994. So let's go ahead and let's share my screen. So this is before Johnny Gators and the Gatorades. So this starts with skit night. So here we all are in the dining hall with the tables pushed aside for skit night. Oh, I just saw him. I just saw me. I saw the camera just pass by me briefly. There I am with my neon green hat in the bottom right corner. Wait, am I? Yeah,
no, just made it into the frame then.
Yeah, my neon green hat. When
you said neon, I thought your knee was on something.
I'm not gonna
neon green grass.
Now I'm not going to point out, but one of the people in the audience is my partner in marriage class is in the frame on this shot, actually. Moving right along. So
you had a marriage class?
We talked about that story last week. It was kind of a marriage prep class.
Oh, that was before I got on.
Yeah.
Because you were talking about some kind of relationship, and I didn't know what the hell you were talking about.
They're doing an introduction, each of them saying one word and messing it up. All right, let's see. Are there any good skits here? Let's see. The parents of the skit. We're not going to sit and watch this whole thing. Oh, here we go. Mr. Brown was our band director, and he decided to read the children's book, Mr. Brown Can Moo. And we all loved it.
Throughout the season, I find I come up with a lot of stories, creating them all just for you. But today,
can you tweet the volume up a little?
Dr. Seuss wrote just for me, and it's called Mr. Brown Can Moo.
So that was actually my book. I just thought it was hilarious that there was this book, Mr. Brown Can Moo, Can You, and our band director is Mr. Brown. And so I brought it in. I'm like, look at this, and everyone's laughing at it. Mr. Brown says, "Hey, can I borrow that?" And
he turned it into a skit.
And he turned it into a skit. Oh. And then at the end of junior year, he left our school for a better opportunity. And so at the end of the year, I brought the book in and handed it around to everyone to sign it, and we gave it to him.
That's sweet. That is cool.
Yeah. So that is basically he's just reading the book. Let's see. God, that skit. But the skits are kind of all right. Here we go. Here's some actual rehearsal. So here's what we're kind of doing day in and day out. Is I think I saw the green hat pass by there briefly in the background.
So there was the girl on the left there that was kind of like directing. Can people
Yeah.
actually see her?
What's that?
Could people actually see her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, basically we had 2 drum majors. This year was an anomaly that we had 3 drum majors.
Wow.
So you see one of them standing up in a podium in the front middle, and then the other one standing at the side, so that people that are off to the side could look to her if she was easier to look at. So
right.
and
That
sometimes
would be the reason to look in that direction. Right.
no, that's not the one I was.
Oh
into.
wait. So on the far right there was a person standing up on a podium, right?
Right. That would be Mark.
But didn't have the baton.
No, the baton was for trolling around and marching out on the field. And see, there's another stand out in the back because there might be parts of the show where we turn around, and so at that point, one of them would go stand in the back, so we'd have one in the front and the back. So we turn around, someone's there.
See, like there's the girl in the black shirt. I mean, can people even see her? She's not sticking out at all.
If you're on that side of the field, yes, you can. But he's the one that
There
you're
you go.
mostly
See, everybody
looking
can
at.
see that person, unless you're
Yeah.
pointing the wrong direction.
Well, it's just the other drum major needs to do something.
Don't jump around too much. You're falling off that platform, dude.
They took turns being on the platform, and so when you're not on the platform, you had to wave your arms
Well,
somewhere
look at that.
else.
People are going in every different damn direction.
That's why we spent a week figuring this out.
Right.
I just want to go on the
Oh, and
platform
marching
and jump off.
backwards.
What's wrong with that?
Whoa.
Yeah, you march
guys are
backwards on your
good.
toes.
You guys are ready for stripes. You know, to play in the movie.
Yeah.
Oh. The movie was pretty good.
And then there's the
actually.
pit. They don't even march.
What? There are lazy bums in the pit?
And anyways, and then this is the dance night. So there we all are, getting our dance groove on. And this is one of these things that it's odd to look at this now and be like, wow, how 90s is this? Just looking at all this.
I don't know. Has it changed much today then?
I don't know. Everything looks kind of 90s. I don't know what they're doing today, but
Well, the music maybe.
well, yeah. I don't know. I think the styles have changed.
Oh, probably.
Well, one thing hasn't changed is all the girls together, and then you get into a section of all boys.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm chilling at one of these picnic tables off to the side, not on the dance floor. Sparky's wondering where all the cell phones are.
Oh, good.
Nice
Yeah, I
one.
went to full screen, so the chat isn't on my screen.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good one. Totally good one.
And they're
Yeah, can
the
you imagine today? You have this thing, and they're all looking at their cell phones, texting each other. I think that person is in the same fucking room as you, dumbass.
I know.
See, the girls are all dancing together.
Yeah,
Normal.
having a fun time.
Normal.
I'm chilling at the picnic table with Doogie.
Oh, you're not dancing?
No, I didn't. I had one brief dance that night, but
Okay. Okay.
Oh,
Did you-
one guy with all these girls.
Yeah, I was just saying,
Popular with the chicks.
that's what I was saying, man. You go over
And
there
the
and
question
jump
is-
in the middle of the girls.
and the question is, which girl is he out there for? I don't know.
Does it matter?
One at a time, or
The
maybe
que-
more.
Yeah, does it matter?
Sparky wants to know if this pavilion is still here today. Well, I know Camp Bernie still exists, but I
Is
couldn't
this
tell
in New
you.
Jersey or did?
Yeah,
you
this
get
is a
us
YMCA camp in New Jersey called Camp Bernie. I don't know why the podium wouldn't be there. I mean, it's part of the camp and it'd be useful, so there's no reason to tear it down and build a new one. So, now doing a little twist.
Oh. With a little twist. It's fine. What about the person recording this?
I get the feeling that this little circle is a circle of guys, and a couple of girls came over there just kind of like,
Yeah.
come on, you dumbass, dance with girls.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's time to run out and jump in the middle of the girl pile over there, you know. and start dancing.
I did the sitting dance over on the bench at the picnic table. That was
Yeah,
my
Mr.
specialty.
Mr. Outgoing there.
Yeah.
Okay, it's okay.
I wasn't alone.
And Doogie was there.
Oh, when I was in high school, there was no VHS. You had to run Super 8 or 8 millimeter.
Get silent movies of people dancing.
That's right. And that actually poses a question. Why are you into the Super 8, which has no sound? Especially when VHS was available.
Film is look, if they made sound film, I'd be into that, but they stopped making sound film. But it also has to do with
Go
the
toss
camera.
that camera and get a VHS camera.
I like it all. I like it all. Okay.
Yeah, but you like the sound too, dude. You're a sound guy.
I'm a tech guy.
Brian, look at it this way. If he just does audio and just does video, he can add his own quadraphonic soundtrack to it later.
There we go.
That's right. Or Atmos.
There, yeah.
Uh-oh, that girl looks bored. She is totally bored.
Gator, go up there and dance with her. You can do it.
I'm still working on the time machine thing.
What about Doogie? Did Doogie get up and dance and leave you behind?
No, Doogie didn't do any dancing either.
Oh, Doogie.
Not that
Couple
night.
lumps on a log.
It was his freshman year, you know. We were
What year was this for
we
you?
were awkward together. This was my sophomore year. Doogie was a year below me.
So
Yeah.
like freshman year, you were that bump on a log, and sophomore year, you decided to be that same old bump on the log.
It worked for me. Well, I told
Who
them.
was running this camera?
One of the band dads.
Oh, YMCA was out back then.
The Village People were around in the 90s there, Brian.
That's kind of a
You're
staple.
Right. That's right.
I thought that was a staple at weddings, not at dances, regular dances.
That's a staple anywhere. I mean, it's the same DJs.
There was a funny scene in Nash Bridges where,
Yeah. He's
Chief
doing the
Barry
parking or navigating
was
traffic.
directing traffic, and then the Village People showed up, and they kind of got him to do moves while directing traffic. It was hilarious. Was that a nun?
Yeah, it was Sister Dolores.
Okay.
There I am with my blue shirt. Well, it's the bottom of the screen. I'm not on it now, but
Oh, that
Little-
that poor girl's bored. She was hoping that you would ask her.
no one was.
You should have danced with the nun.
Now they're gonna dance like it's the 70s.
Well, they're playing the Bee Gees, so.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Come on,
Billy's
Gators, that
getting
was
into
your
it.
Era. You should have got up there and danced
Whoa!
in the
Look at
70s.
that guy making the move.
There's Sebastian.
You should have been up there dancing in the 70s.
They were doing it good enough. I didn't need to.
You watched Saturday Night Fever. You could have done some.
I watched Saturday Night Fever sitting at my couch, not out on the dance floor.
It's okay. I probably would have been the same place. I would have been at that table though. I would have found the table of girls and probably started talking to them.
And it's not a dance without a badly timed electric slide.
Johnny, you and Kristen didn't have a big old reception. You just went to Vegas, got married, and got done, right?
Yeah.
Went to Jack in the Box, right?
We stopped at Jack in the Box on the way there.
Yeah. I mean, how sad is that, man?
It's not sad.
Not at all.
Jack in the Box is decent.
I won money on the craps table that night.
Oh, there you go. Now, so what is this? What is this maneuver here?
This
it
is
like
the
line
electric
dancing?
slide. You're not
It's
familiar
what?
with the electric slide?
No.
When's the last time you've been to a wedding?
Actually, they
That's a
do
good
the
question.
electric slide part 2 now. That's the one they do. They don't do the regular one anymore.
And now they do the, what is that? The cha-cha slide?
Yeah, the cha-cha slide. That's the one. They do that one now too. They do that one. They don't do the electric slide anymore.
I'm
Yeah.
totally out of it here.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even
Yes,
know
I
what
do
to
the
do.
chicken dance
I'd have to
sometimes.
be that bump on the log.
There was a solid 20 years of every wedding having the electric slide.
Yeah, I'm going to a wedding. I think it's next weekend. I have to look to see when that thing is. So I'm sure
Next
I'm going to be
week?
doing that at some point. Huh?
Congratulations on the wedding.
Not mine. No. No,
I knew you'd take it that way. That's why I said it.
I'm just like, no,
Now
not
here's
mine.
a dude looking bored, then he sees the camera.
And she's bored too.
I'm sure I'll be sitting at the table.
Uh-oh,
eating
that
cake.
tall guy. He was just kind of
Fine.
like a stone. Yes, I'm dancing that before, not these guys. I love you, girl. I love you. Look at that guy.
Have a nice
Gonna
little
go
chat.
skip gaps. We need to add captions to these, right? What are these people saying? Hey, nice
No,
leg.
dude, don't. No, dude, no. That is not. I'm not even reading that. No, dude.
No.
That is a no. I mean, I don't know what DJs do when they're up there DJing, but no.
Dude, all right. Now that I
Yeah.
undid the full screen, I could
Oh,
see that. Oh
dear.
no.
Yeah, that is, that could be a problem on the dance floor.
No. At that age, no blue pill needed.
It was always awkward when shuffling around trying to hide something in your pants.
Right.
It was
You know.
safer off to the side in the seats.
Isn't that why
Much safer.
you always have the big rubber band around your leg just in case?
No one taught me that trick.
Oh wow.
Damn it. I need to go back in time and tell myself that one.
Yeah, you could use the big fat rubber bands. Use that, and be fine.
Also,
I don't
the
know
sound of
how that
elastic
work.
snapping coming from his pants, followed by a shrill scream. Yeah.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh
So
boy.
anyways, that was sophomore year. So they, as you saw, they have a skit night. And come senior year, there was no video made of skit night, and it was the one year that I was in skit night, so I only have a few photos as a relic of this event. So, being that I wasn't all that popular, I didn't even bother to sign up to be in the cabin with people. I'm just like, whatever, you all sign up. And there was always this like game
So they
of-
chucked you out in the woods?
there was always this, well, if they just fill you in somewhere. There was a sign-up sheet, and if you didn't put your name on it, they'd put it on there for you. And I remember one year it was so bad that there was a group of people. It was so bad with people erasing names and moving names around and crossing out names that a group of people got together, said, we're a full bunk or we're a full cabin. They picked one on the sheet, put all their names on there, and then got Scotch tape and covered that block with
Nice.
Scotch tape.
Smart idea.
So that
Smart
no one
idea.
could change it.
Smart
So
idea.
I'm just like, whatever. I don't fucking care. Just get me a bunk and I'm happy. And so that's how I ended up. And that was the year. There was this one really big cabin and a bunch of small cabins. And usually the girls were in the big cabin and the guys are in the small cabins. And I don't know if they put some girls in other small cabins or how the proportions are worked out. But one year, the senior year, sister was looking at the numbers and things like, I think we're going to put the guys in the big cabin. I think we fit all the guys in the big cabin, and then we'll give the girls a small cabin. So it was kind of flipped that year. And the big cabin had 2 rooms in the upstairs and a big basement with a bunch of bunks in it. And so all the people that were signing up to be in one of those 2 rooms. And then anyone who didn't sign up, which was the freshmen and me and I think like one other guy that was a junior, or junior or sophomore, I don't know. There was one other guy down there I kind of remember that wasn't a freshman, but they threw us all in the basement. So I'm there senior in the basement with all the freshmen. And the place looked like a homeless shelter. They just had all these bunks out in this big open area and a very dated look. And so one of the freshmen came in and said, hey guys, we should sign up to do a skit on skit night. We should do a freshman group skit. Does anyone got any ideas for a skit? No one had any ideas for a skit. Some suggestions were made. And so and here's the thing. I had my boombox with me. I come in the first day to set down my stuff by the bunk. I pull up my boombox. I pick a bunk that's by a power outlet. I plug it in, and I pulled out my favorite CD that summer, which I had just bought scrimping and saving. And Brian, let's see if you remember this big hit back of 1968.
Oh yeah.
That was it was the summer of 96, and I was partying like it was 1968. And I pull the CD out, I hit play, and one of the band dads in the room goes, "Oh, Vanilla Fudge!" And I didn't expect anyone to take to my music, but a few days into the week, the other freshmen, they're digging this song. They're kind of liking it. And I don't know if it was my idea. On the one hand, I can't see anyone else suggesting this, but on the other hand, I would have never thought it would have worked, so I don't know that I would have suggested it. But somehow
turn it into a skit.
Someone suggested we should get up and just kind of mime to this or sing along to this and make that be a skit. And we could call ourselves Johnny Gators and the Gatorades. I think that was the best part of the joke.
When did you start with Johnny Gators?
Sophomore year, I started with Johnny Gators.
Okay.
It was a discussion I was having during homeroom about how people keep mispronouncing my last name, and it's pretty simple, and I don't get why all these different pronunciations come out, like Guitarez, Gertaz.
Yes, axe, murder, music, yes.
And so when I was talking about all the different mispronunciations of guitars, someone said, well, what about Gators? Hey, that sounds kind of cool. You could be Johnny Gators. And
that was even suggested to you, so you didn't make it up.
That was it was came out of that conversation sophomore year. Someone else actually suggested Johnny Gators, and I knew it had that ring to it, that it would come with a persona, and I kind of felt like Johnny Gators would be better with the ladies than I was, and so which ultimately worked out because Johnny Gators did an internet radio show and met his wife through there. So long term, yeah, Johnny Gators was better with the ladies.
Once you storm into the room and says, wait a minute, you're not Gators?
We're kind of one and the same. But
how long has it been? Since you got married?
Oh, wow. I mean, I've stopped counting or keeping track because we've just been having a blast. But
you celebrate anniversaries, right?
We do. I celebrate the date, but I usually have to pull up my emails to find the year. We got married. July of 2009.
Okay, so 38 years.
Yeah, let's go.
Pretty close.
I see. So you were an English major.
Yes, I was an English
So
major.
going on actually years. That's actually pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So anyways, someone suggested we just get up there and kind of mime and dance and sing along to "You Keep Me Hanging On" by Vanilla Fudge and be Johnny Gators and the Gatorades, and no one had a better idea, and they wanted to do a skit, and so I ended up being in the freshman skit, being front and center in the freshman skit, and the name of the cabin was the Terrell. So skit night, the guy who's emceeing the thing gets up there, and we told him to say this. He goes, live from the homeless shelter in the basement of the Terrell, it's Johnny Gators and the Gatorades. And we came out, we did our thing. And so here are the pictures I have. This first picture is dark. It came out bad. These all came out with my dad's 70s vintage Polaroid camera. So this first one is a rehearsal we were doing in the basement there. And you can kind of see what I mean by it looked like a homeless shelter. You got one of the bunks there and another bunk off to the side here, and we're all there.
I'm just curious. Have you frequented homeless shelters so you know what they look like?
Brian,
Yes.
he lived in Oakland.
I don't know.
point.
Maybe, I don't know if this really looks accurately like a homeless shelter, but to us, it looked like a homeless shelter.
Right. That's what you call it. Right.
So anyways, we rehearsed it quite a bit. We all had a blast. All having fun. And then skit night, we performed it. So here we are out in that. Actually, this is out in that same pavilion that we saw the video of the dance in.
Green hat.
Yeah. And there we are.
Oh, that's it. That's green hat, right?
Yeah, that is the green hat.
Sweet.
And you can see they all coordinate different moves to do to this song. And I'm there at the point of the song where they were doing the call and the response, where the other vocalists would do "Set Me Free, Why Don't You?" So I'm holding the mic up to them when they're doing that part.
A real mic, or did you have a fake mic?
No, that was a real mic. I really sang in that thing, and no one ever recorded it. And so that is a moment.
That's sad.
This is all that's left of that night.
You sure someone did
just
not
some
have
pictures.
a camera out there recording it?
Sweet.
It was just this snapshot and our memories. And
Now this big white thing at the top above y'all. Was that a lightsaber or is that a meteor going to take you guys out?
Well, if you remember, we just saw this pavilion in video, and they had all those lights up in the top in the
oh,
roof
that's a fluorescent
fixture.
light fixture.
Yeah, it's one of the fluorescent light fixtures in that pavilion. So yeah, that's where we are doing our
Once
thing.
I did see this store display where they had single tube fluorescent lights all over the place, including sticking up from the floor, and it did look like lightsabers.
Cool.
It was pretty
yeah.
bizarre.
So, anyways, we had so much fun doing this that after skit night, we go back to the bunk. We go back to the cabin, to our homeless shelter. And we all decided, let's do it one more time. You know, we got to do it one more time. We'll never do this again probably, but let's do this one more time. And,
So like an encore.
right. So we did an encore in the base of the cabin there, and I'm glad we did that because that was the best picture we got out of them. I handed off the camera.
Just within the base in the basement among yourselves.
Right. We did an encore ourselves back at the bunk because we were having so much fun doing it. Let's do it one more time and try to get a good picture.
So
of
you're
it.
the center in the center as the senior, right?
Right. And I'm doing the lead
And,
vocals.
and
singing
all
the
these
whole thing.
freshmen are most of them are as tall as you are. I find that bizarre. Were you a little shrimp?
I was average.
Little shrimp cocktail?
No, I
Yeah,
don't think
for
so.
a freshman you were.
Whatever.
Remember,
I'm
teenage
really short,
boys
so
get
it's
that
okay.
growth spurt at around age 15 or 16.
Oh, it's not a very good camera. The height's off a bit.
don't worry, I'm always
I
concerned,
would
so.
blame the camera.
They're all behind me, so I'm closer to the camera, so that makes me look shorter.
That makes you look taller.
Shorter. Makes me look shorter.
Closer to the camera, you would be taller.
No, but this is a Polaroid camera and it takes positive pictures instead of negative, so it comes out reverse.
You are a bizarre man.
Yeah, I am. This is all part of the Johnny Gators persona. You see,
Oh God!
I was average
Oh,
height.
it had to do with time dilation because this was from the past, right?
Yeah.
So, anyways, if I reach behind me though, I got something. I keep it up here on the shelf.
Rubik's cube.
I still got the hat.
What?
Oh, you still got the green hat.
I still got the hat.
Turn your head like 90 degrees.
Yeah, turn your head all the way around
Oh,
360.
the black
Gator,
was the
please.
headphones. Yeah, because that looks white for some reason. But it's the
Well-
lettering that's green, right?
The lettering is blue. The hat is green. The hat has seen much sun and is a bit faded. The hat says Yagoo 92.
Yippee.
Let me go ahead and put that in the chat for you to all. It says Yalgoog 92. It is a Boy Scout summer camp in Rhode Island.
There you go.
So yeah,
So you had the Boy Scout camp, and then you went to this YMCA camp.
well because I did I stopped doing
Band
Boy
camp.
Scouts.
What?
I stopped doing Boy Scouts. Too many flagpoles, but I did marching band in high
Too
school.
many flagpoles?
I've told that story. I'm not telling it again. They call it a Chinese bicycle ride. I was bullied a bit in Boy Scouts.
That's mean, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they were the worst ones. Were the ones that were the sons of the leaders. They were brutal, awful.
I thought those guys were the ones that were going to go for Eagle.
And they may have.
But you decided that was you had enough of it, so you left.
When I look back at Boy Scouts, I have more bad memories than good.
Sure.
High school was a rough 4 years, and I could go into detail how rough it was, and I went into some of those details recently. But I have a lot of good, fond memories. You know, you look back, and you know that was how life was.
Well, I mean, it's life is about good times and bad times, and,
Right.
and hopefully you remember the good times.
But when I look back at the Boy Scouts, there's a dark cloud hanging over that experience. I'm sure I had some good times doing it. I kept doing it for a certain number of years, but by the end of it,
Now, did you do camping trips? That sort of thing?
yes.
Did you like it? Outside of the bullying.
Kinda. Not
You're
really,
an inside guy, man.
Well, here's the
That's
thing.
why I'm asking.
Boy Scouts, you know, sometimes you go through life doing something and you don't even realize that you're not that it's not that you like it. It's just that you've been doing it. Recently, my aunt told me about how she hates skiing. And I found that odd because she had skied for so long. And she's like, but I never liked it. And one day I had an epiphany. And it's like, I'm not going this time because I don't like this. And but it's just something she always started doing as a child. And, you know, so for me, I did marching band all 4 years of high school. And I also did marching band for 2 years of college, to answer Dune's question. But so when I was younger, you know, I wanted to do activities and socialize. And so I remember at one point, you know, my parents were like, what do you want to do? Do you want to do Cub Scouts? Do you want to do karate? Do you want to do... And I was like, you know, yeah, I want to be a Kung Fu master. Let's do karate. I'll do karate. And I guess they weren't taking new students in karate, or they were all filled up. And they said, well, how about you do Cub Scouts instead? And I'm like, all right, I'll do Cub Scouts. And Cub Scouts is fun. I mean, my mom was den leader for the first year I did Cub Scouts, and so we did, den leader. And you know, we had the monthly pack meeting that all the dens came to the school cafeteria for the meeting, and there was the Pinewood Derby, and so I did 3 years of Cub Scouts, and I had fun with that because that was like a weekly meeting at someone else's house or our house. First year was our house. The second and third year was someone else's house. Someone else's mother took over as the den leader. And, you know, we had like a little activity or
Did they get rid of the word den mother and replace with den leader?
Probably. And my den had a den mother. But I don't think there was any rule that it had to be a mother. It could be a den father or a den leader.
Yeah, I think one of mine was a den father. Just a den leader. That's who it was.
So,
how do you think Boy Scouts has changed now that it's no longer Boy Scouts, but it's just scouting, and girls are invited to join?
Well,
I think it's not going to change that much, honestly.
I don't care about the Scouts because I just could care less about them because they were awful to me. So
I care about the cookies.
I get it.
That's about it.
I don't have a dog in that fight, and I don't think it's even a fight. You know, let them do.
Sure,
what they
yeah.
want.
I mean, I don't know. I just haven't heard opinion. I know two guys that are my age that were adult leaders for quite a long time, and they acquired what they call the Silver Beaver,
Hmm.
which is kind of awesome. The two guys I know have done that, because actually I don't know anybody else involved in scouting. Well, actually, there's a guy in the church, but I just don't know him that well. And I had
Trying to
my
figure out how to
maternal
work
grandfather was a Silver
Warhawk
Beaver.
got it.
Silver.
Don't look that up with safe search. You better make sure your safe search on if you search that Gators.
Some people are into the old timers, but
Yeah.
no, not if it was silver. But anyways, the only thing I would
Yeah,
think that would
Silver Beaver word is on Wikipedia.
the only thing the only thing logistically it changes about scouts is that now you got to keep facilities to have accommodate everyone, which is not that big a deal because whoever wants to camp can go camping. I will say that it probably my troop. So the reason I did Boy Scouts is because I did Cub Scouts. I did Cub Scouts. It was fun. And when you
Sure.
reach the end of Cub Scouts, you go on and do Boy Scouts.
Exactly.
Boy Scouts is very different from Cub Scouts.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
just because you enjoyed Cub Scouts doesn't necessarily mean that. I wish there was a point where someone could say, this is different. This is not going to be like that. This is going to be like this. You can take an off ramp if you don't want to do this. I probably would have still done it. I probably would have been like, yeah, different, whatever, fine. I did that. I'll do this. So it was kind of like the path was laid out in front of me. You did Cub Scouts. Now you're doing Boy Scouts.
Yeah, I mean that's typically
And-
the way it happened. I
and
mean,
I
I
just-
didn't do Cub Scouts. I went into Boy Scouts when I was 13. When
Mhm.
they take kids at 11.
So I did that, and I didn't dislike camping, but it probably wouldn't have been my first choice if I. The thing is, when you're a kid, as adults, we take it for granted that we could just kind of plan whatever we want to do for a weekend. That it's
Right.
because when you're a kid, it's like, well, you could go outside or you could go inside,
Would you
or
have
you could have an
considered?
activity.
Would you have considered? The Civil Air Patrol has a youth program as well. High school kids.
Okay,
Would you have considered that?
no, probably not.
One of the things
But-
they do is fly aircraft.
I don't know. That
I
seems
was
a
the
little-
Gator flying a plane.
If I was going to fly a plane, it's going to be on the end of a string that I'm holding. Cause
There you go.
I could barely handle a car without getting myself killed.
Well, we see how
But,
well you fly the Flying DeLorean. That's fine.
Yeah. It's just like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just went into the Boy Scouts and it was okay. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. It was okay. I had probably some good times the first year, but at some point, the bullying.
Warhawk, one day.
One thing I gotta
Holy shit!
one thing I gotta say is that my troop, the leaders of the troop, really had this boys will be boys attitude towards things. So this bullying happened, and no one really cared because it's just boys will be boys, whatever. So
Oh,
he's
sure.
up, and so maybe that dynamic will change. I don't know, and I also think that that's not consistent across all the troops.
No, I
Each
don't
troop is
think so.
run however, but my troop was troop 1776. I don't think that number was assigned by chance. So, anyways,
Were you in Trenton, New Jersey,
no,
or Philadelphia?
Neshannock, New Jersey.
Wow.
But
How did they grab 1776?
money, I don't know. Somehow.
The number wasn't used, and the guy said, "Shit, we'll take that number."
So, anyways, I reached a point where I knew I was not having fun anymore, and I knew I wanted out. And I think that was after like the second year of summer camp when I came back with black and blue bruises all up my arm from all the knocking and punching and stories of the Chinese bicycle rides. And my mom was really upset. She's like, maybe we should take pictures and file a police report. My dad's like, I'll deal with it, whatever. And I don't know what my dad ever did. And so I was like, I'm done. I'm out. But my parents really felt like that they wanted to encourage their kid to see something through. And so they said, well, you have to finish getting, you almost earned your first class badge. You got to finish your first class badge before you leave. Just see that through. Just finish the first class badge. I'm like, no, I'm done. I'm out. I don't want this anymore. And I remember I got into an argument with them at my great-grandparents' house. And I think that embarrassed them because nothing was ever said about it after that. We left. There was silence. And they never asked me to go to a meeting again.
Oh, there you go.
And I look back, I feel kind of bad about that. I think it was kind of a dick move to try to embarrass my dad in front of his grandparents to get out as scouts because I was angry at him about this. But
Troop 1776 is now in Plano, Texas.
Really? Neshannock lost the number?
Maybe the troop closed.
We can only hope.
Well, I mean, that happens.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
Well, if you look up BSA...
There was also one that was in Manchester, New Hampshire.
If you look up BSA1776.org, they still have a website for BSA Troop 1776, Neshannock, New Jersey.
I wonder if the number is reused.
Mm-hmm.
I don't... What's the point of a troop number if it can be reused?
Well, it could be in a different district or whatever.
Yeah.
Huh.
You got me.
Well, yeah, I guess if a number could be reused in different districts, 1776 is a number that would get heavy use. So, yeah, I ditched that, left that.
I don't remember what scout number I was. I'd have to go look at my uniform. I can't remember.
You still have your uniform?
Yeah, when I was a little kid, yeah.
Damn.
It doesn't fit me anymore. It's way too small. Trust me. It doesn't fit a dog. It's too small.
It doesn't fit a dog. How about a wiener dog?
You know.
We better not get pictures of Mars up here, or Brian's really going to call him a shrimp.
Yeah, I was pretty short. It's okay. I don't care. I was always short.
Yeah.
It's fine. I fit in with the Twitch crowd. They're all short, so it's fine.
So Brian, what extracurricular activities were you involved in high school?
So yeah, I was in the Boy Scouts through high school. Although I forget where it was, about junior year, I switched over to a police explorer troop. Now I was a first class rank and had enough merit badges to get up to life. But getting into the explorer troop, there was no path for advancement, so that's where I stopped.
Wait,
and
you got first class, but then you got up to life. So you got star and then life. So life scout was where you.
No, I had the merit badges for it. I just didn't go for the grade. Because there's other activities you have to do to get the promotion.
So you were first class with merit badges.
Corrected. Yeah. With a bunch of merit badges, right?
I had one merit badge.
So I was in a high school band, right?
Okay.
In college, I was not involved in music, but I was marching because I was in Army ROTC for the first 2 years.
Okay.
And then I switched over to the Air Force, which doesn't march around like idiots.
Yeah.
And
Brian, it's interesting. For ROTC, I actually hear them do their calls outside my window because I'm so close to one of the schools. So I'm sitting there. I listen if my window's
when
up.
When you were growing up, you mean, or what? Not now.
No, right now. Well, literally in my complex, I can hear them doing their marching and their calling.
Do they have an ROTC unit at Chabot or something, or what?
Well, I'm near many schools. There's that school. There's the
Or
one.
is there
There's
or
a
is there
high
an
school.
ROTC high school unit?
There's a high school here. There's a regular
Yeah.
high school. There's an elementary school over here.
Yeah.
There's like a kindergarten around here somewhere. You know.
So,
yeah.
so Warhawk, Civil Air Patrol. So after I graduated from college, I got commissioned with the Air Force, and instead of 4 years of active duty because Vietnam War was just over, I got swapped out with a bunch of reserve years instead.
Oh, okay.
And one of the assignments that I picked up was an Air Force officer liaison to the Civil Air Patrol. And when I was still in Connecticut, I did work with a bunch of kids that were meeting at a local high school. And we were just doing various activities like the Civil Air Patrol would do, although we did not do any flying. There were outfits in Connecticut that were flying, and one guy, when he left Connecticut in the Air Force, he was involved in the Civil Air Patrol, and they would be in different states, and they would find aircraft that other state units were not using, and basically they would steal them. I mean, legally, but they
Legally
would get these
stealing.
aircraft.
Okay. All right.
But no, in the Civil Air Patrol duty, we didn't do any flying.
And you didn't do any potato peeling?
Oh no, that's not for officers.
Ah.
An Air Force ROTC camp, that was fun. That was my junior year. We went to Plattsburgh, New York, where they had the FB-111 bomber ready to fly Michigan against the Soviets. And that was interesting. So you would go to chow for breakfast, of course.
Right.
And so, they got eggs and sausage. Next day, they had eggs and sausage. And the next day was eggs and sausage. You're getting the drift here. But
Who's
the
got eggs and
sausage
sausage for
every
breakfast?
day was kind of leftovers from the prior day.
Oh, that's
And
fine.
by Friday, the sausages were so hard it was like a weapon.
Oof.
You just
yeah.
gotta put lots of syrup on it,
So,
Brian. It's fine.
so would you just skip the sausage, or were you required to eat at least some sausage?
No, you could eat. Well, you had to eat what was given you, and
I'd
of
eat
course
sausage.
you could pass on it.
Yeah, I'd eat it.
Now, would you pass on the sausage, or would you?
No, I like sausage.
Even when
You would
it's
just
bad?
notice the texture would vary.
So you like
Be a
it even
little
when it was
bit
bad.
darker, a little bit harder.
It makes it last longer because you got to chew it a bit more.
That's right.
Sparky writes in, if
Turning-
you're hungry enough, you will eat it.
That's right. Turning into pure protein. Or shit, whatever.
That reminds me. I wonder. You know, talking about the food and things like that reminds me. I think that Bandcamp video, when I skipped over Skit Night, actually has a song on it about Bandcamp. I should bring that back up. Let's see, because my friend Steve, he and Billy, they did a little song about Bandcamp. But I need to. Was it this year? I think it was this year. Let's see. There's
This year being 1993, right?
this is that's Lou taking a pie to the face. Oh wait,
that
I'm
would
not-
be fun to watch.
All right. You know the old skit where you line up people and say you're going for the world record of turning kiss the next person's cheek all in a row and time it and try to get faster and faster. And so there we go. So there they are doing the thing.
Never did that one.
Okay, let's see if we can get it down to 10 seconds, right?
They already messed it up.
Come on, dude. You got to get shorter because the kid can't get taller.
There you go. Go.
I think that's more fun than spin the bottle.
Yeah, especially when you see the punchline. Cameraman knows what's coming. Come on, get it in focus. There it is.
Whoa!
Nice.
Oh, there it is. Face full of pie. That never gets old. Is the kid sharing it with the others?
Yeah, he's sharing a bit.
He's going, what did
He's
I
like,
do
"That
to
rocks."
deserve this?
All right, let's see if I can find Steve's skit. Okay, so that's oh, here it is. Here we go. Steve's gonna sing a little song about band camp.
Gotta set some stuff up. I'm Steve Petsu. People call me Steve Petsu. And there's Billy Brett. Sister Dolores.
Band camp.
Blueberries, lemon water, band See, I'm at this place called Band Camp, and I'm not having too much fun. Well, you see, I'm at this place called Band Camp, and daggone it, I want to leave. And surely I'd escape if there wasn't barbed wire on the fences. It rained on Monday. It was a little bit wet. Yeah, it was a soggy day. A little bit wet. More blueberries. And we marched.
Blueberries, what we call the raincoats. They were blue.
Oh, okay.
I was getting mad because, you see, my charts, they were just ripping apart. And I was saying no, I was losing pages here and there, and I just thought, why can't my charts stay together? Man, I hate it. And there was a chaos out on the field. Nobody could get it right. It was all screwed up out there. And it just wasn't there, you know, it just wasn't working. But somehow we did it when those mellophones finally got it right.
Yeah, mellophones.
See, I was walking through the woods. Me and my Mr. Raccoon, we was walking through the woods, see, and I was walking there, I was looking for something. It was the middle of the night, it was dark and stormy. I was eating a tuna sandwich. Then I dropped it, and I said to Mr. Raccoon, I said, oh, for tuna. Where's my tuna? There's 5 months.
This was the year we did the Carmina Burana for our marching show with our 04 tuna.
I didn't find my tuna, but I kept walking. I walked on. Saw lots of stuff. And then, right there, I saw it. A big sign with lights. And do you know what it said, folks? Do you know what it said?
Well, this is the whole album side, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bandcamp.
Mr. Brown, Bandcamp. Marching.
Definitely was impressive, dude.
Yeah.
I think that microphone's gonna need a chamois after that song.
So that is the type of things that happen on Skit Night. Fortunately, no recording of Johnny Gators and the Gatorades in existence.
Oh, boo!
Or I'd show it to you. I absolutely would. But there was no bandfather with a camcorder senior year.
That's sad.
That is. So yeah.
It's lost to the ages.
Because I also did a top 10 list as a solo skit as well. It didn't go that well. I didn't get much applause.
Oh.
But anyways, yeah. So that was and now that guy is a tour guide at a double-decker bus in Philadelphia. So if you want an entertaining tour of Philadelphia, you know who to see. You see over here, we got Bandcamp.
Well, either that or he could do the tour guide, the Jungle Cruise at Disney.
I have a feeling that would play as well.
Alright.
I don't know. So, anyways, it's around that time. It's a time for a raid. So, but we need to before we look for someone to raid, we got to. What do we got to do? We got to bring up our dance remix. Is what we got to do. So, it's been another fun-filled edition of
Insert title here.
maybe with a little bit of a late start, but we got you your 2 hours. Doing Writes and that's a real full-time gig? I guess so. He does it. Haven't talked to him in years. I keep meaning to find an excuse to swing by Philly and.
Do you ever send him a Facebook messages as Bandcamp?
What's that?
Do you ever send a message to him and say Bandcamp exclamation point?
No,
Oh.
because
Hashtag Bandcamp.
we had other.
Of course, there is the music platform called Bandcamp.
I could always send him a message and say go Corn, but yeah. Actually, we hung out in San Fran when I was living in the area at one point when he was passing through the area.
Did you look at our double-decker buses and get envious?
What's that?
Did he look at our double-decker buses and get envious?
No.
Oh.
We
It's
want
probably
record
the same
shopping.
company, the Big Red Bus.
We want record shopping at the Haight-Ashbury area. But had a good time. So anyways, we do try to be educational here. So Mars, what have you learned this week?
I've learned your bugs are so high definition they actually fly off the screen.
Hey Brian, what have you learned this week?
Oh, Bandcamp would have been fun. Well, we didn't have that back when I was in marching band. We did do during the concert scene, did some exchange concert with other high schools. One of the high schools we were in New Jersey. Because we were Bloomfield, Connecticut, and we connected with Bloomfield, New Jersey.
Okay.
You know where that is?
Yeah, it's in New Jersey.
Duh.
I think you take the Parkway.
I guess I thought it was closer to New York City than where you are.
Well,
Kind
you
of
take,
north
you take
New
the
Jersey.
Parkway. That's why I take the Parkway.
Yeah.
Or,
You
or
probably
the Turnpike.
You probably passed Bloomfield, New Jersey.
Now Sparky
And if you're
learned-
going all the way up to Massachusetts, you probably passed Bloomfield, Connecticut.
Probably. I know I passed my anus.
Yes.
Sparky writes in, I learned that life was more fun before cell phones. That is a good one. That is a good one we definitely learned
But
today.
if you had a band camp and everybody had their cell phone and you actually got those activities going, everybody was recording, and you'd have a recording from a number of people
of
on your
people
skit.
looking at their phones.
Yeah.
Well, but also people recording
Yeah.
your skit at the band camp.
Anyways, I don't know. That'd be interesting. And I learned that man, that green hat comes in handy when trying to find myself in these movies.
Absolutely.
And I learned that while many years I was kind of glad that the camera wasn't rolling that night because my voice was pretty awful. Now I've reached that point that I kind of wish there was a video of Johnny Gators and the Gatorades.
Right.
It's sad that moment in time is lost. But
But then again, since there is no recording to test this theory, would you be able to watch your own videos? Watch yourself on TV on video?
I've done it before. I've watched other home movies of myself.
The interest no, with sound though.
We have lots of sound movies too from my childhood. My dad bought a sound camcorder, full VHS video recorder.
Oh, you mean the kind that you stick, like the JVC ones you stick on your shoulder?
Yeah, he bought
Yeah,
one
we
of
had
those
one
in
of those.
1988. So we have
Yeah.
we got lots of those movies.
Yeah, why
Yeah,
aren't you into
89.
that?
Yeah.
Or does he still have the video recorder?
I gotta tell you, VHS is a shitty format.
Wow, we talk longer than 6 minutes? That's impressive.
Well, now, in fact, was it the small? What is it? VHS-C, the smaller version?
I just am not interested in. The only reason I play with VHS is for practical purposes to archive them and get
Sure.
rid of them.
Well, with today's video, cell phones and digital video, you can get high quality stuff. It's very easy.
Sparky writes in, if you could tell your young Gators something from the future, what would it be?
Get yourself recorded.
Invest in lots of Bitcoin.
Early on.
Really early on.
Really early on. You were right about everything. Keep up the good work.
Actually, there's 2 data points there on the Bitcoin:
Yeah.
when to get in and when to get out.
Oh, at the very beginning, it was like under $1 a coin.
Well, there's
Yeah,
been a
but then get out and then wait for it to drop, then get back in again. So take the wave up and down.
the thing is, if I go back in time, I have no idea the effects on the timeline of that, so that if I could give the accurate dates or not. I guess, and really, this is not an exercise in getting rich. This is an exercise of what have you learned along the way, and what advice do you feel you could have benefited from. And I probably would just not, because everything turned out a way that they were. And if I give myself advice and it helps me, it might harm my future, or I don't want to play that game of could it be better, could it be worse.
But what if you went back in time and told Johnny yourself to punch that Billy Bob in the gut?
Billy Bob?
The bully.
Oh no, because they were stronger than me and there was more of them than me.
But maybe there was one instant where you could have gotten away with it.
Nope. So that's the scientific answer. But I guess if I would give myself some advice, it would be, hey, don't sweat it with the ladies. This ain't your time, but it's going to work out for you. But it wouldn't hurt to try, stop focusing on just one and focusing on all.
Yeah,
of them.
say she wasn't into you. Shh, calm down. Go see other people.
She really values your friendship, and that's all she's ever going to value until you just annoy her so much that she's disappointed, upset when you walk into a room.
And she avoids you.
I would tell that story, but we don't have time for it. Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
too...
darn. We got to figure out who to raid.
Yeah, we got to figure out who to raid. Yeah, so let's see. Who do we got here? We got here... there's not a whole lot live I'm seeing right now. Velvet Seven's doing ASMR, which sucks. Yeah, Sparky, if you remember to remind me. I guess we can raid Ray Rachel.
She's still going?
Yeah, she's still going.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
we'll
that would
raid
work.
Ray Rachel. All right, thank you everyone for listening. We'll be back next week. Sparky will remind me to tell that really, really embarrassing story about the New York Diner fiasco. And
All right.
there we go. He'll never remember.
Is this Sparky? He'll remember.
I'm betting he won't. I don't want to tell that story.
I will send him a DM.
But I will if he does. All right, we have raided.
Okay.
Way to go.
All right. Well, good.